So it's 1998 and I'm deployed to Bosnia Herzegovina with an 82-person CB detachment. We're attached to an army camp, which is Camp Bedrock, which is inside of a quarry, and at the bottom of the hill is Camp Pebbles. So we live on Camp Bedrock, we work on Camp Pebbles. Now, we happen to have an individual over there who was against bathing. You heard me right. We had a female, she was in supply, and she was against putting water and soap on her under yonder. Nobody ever knew why. We think probably it's because she was one of them type of people who didn't want to get naked in front of other women. Maybe she had a cockeyed nipple or something. We never knew. But then probably what it was, she was just being lazy because the shower tents were probably a couple hundred yards away from where we were living at for sanitary reasons. And when you're in the war zone, every time you leave the tent, you got to be in full battle router. You got to have the flak jacket on, the mop gear, you know, the whole shit. You know, the helmet on with the chest strap tight. And, you know, she would always get pinged on it because she would always be sloppy, kind of a little bit of a dirtbag. The females were complaining about it all the time. And females being females, we were like, well, you know, whatever. Y'all just probably don't like her. You know, females can be a little catty. And she was a little bit weird. She would be to herself, kind of reading all the time. There was more females in the tent than men because there wasn't that many females, so they only had one tent. So there might be 7 or 8 dudes to a tent. There was 12 females in the damn tent. So she was in close quarters. They was catching all that heat from her under yonder. We didn't think nothing about it. But then one time our threat level went up because somebody gave an order to kill Americans or something like that. So when the threat level go up, that means we had to change the way we move. Okay, so the CBs are construction support and equipment support over there. The Army is our protectors. Now, we have weapons, but the Army is our protectors until we leave outside the camp. Now, the road from Camp Bedrock down to Camp Pebbles is probably about 300 or 400 yards long. And so when our threat level go up, we would have to walk in staggered formation. Well, the more skittish people or the dirtbags, we would put them in the front. Because the thinking was, if this motherfucker trip and fall, a weapon with a round in it, you're not going to shoot me in the back of my goddamn head. So we put her in the damn front. Well, let me tell you something about that goddamn stench. That stench was following her ass like the train of a wedding dress. And by the time we got down to the bottom of the damn hill, the men were believers that this bitch had a problem going on with her drawers. As time went on, it got worse and worse and worse. Nobody could understand why she would not wash her ass. Hints would be given, and she would act like she was oblivious. But she was not oblivious, and the reason I know she wasn't because at some point, she started wearing perfume. It was a lot of perfume. It was like this bitch brought a whole gallon. Remember that old perfume Poison? She would wear that shit over there. So immediately, when she first started wearing, she would pass by you and be like, that was kind of pleasant. And then that goddamn mackerel would hit your ass. Yeah! You'd be like, oh, shit, nope, there go the fish. So she knew what the fuck was going on. She just refused to wash her ass. Now, her job was supply. She worked in a Connex box, which was a big-ass metal cube, one way in, one way out, and it is made out of metal. So you're sitting directly in the goddamn sun. The inside of that damn Connex box was horrific, but we had to go to her to get supplies. So now the men are complaining. We complained to the squad leader, but he was a bit of a wuss. He did not want to address a woman about her personal hygiene. And so he would say little stuff when we was in formation, like, come on, guys. Guys, we need to help each other out, guys. You know, it's hot out here, guys. We're in a quarry, and the sun is bouncing off of these rocks, and we got to make sure we bathe and be respectful of our brothers and sisters. We all sit there like, because you know damn well, you talk about her. Just pull her to the side, tell her she need to wash her ass, but he would not do it. It got so bad to where nobody wanted to go to Gear Issue because she was in that stinking. We started calling her Connex box the DMX album because it was 98 and DMX's first album came out because it was dark and hell was hot up in that motherfucker. On top of that, them goddamn fish was barking like dogs. You understand me? You go to the front of that Connex box and them goddamn mackerel perches and basses be like, shit! What you want from a nigga? She had Linda, Veronica, Karen, and Vicky. All of them was in her drawers dead than a motherfucker. This bitch had some corpses off in her damn pants. I swear to God. So there was no high-ranking female in the Navy there. So he went and got a female Army E6. So the Army E6 talked to her, still did not help. So at some point, he had to break down and had to write her up. Well, when he wrote her up, they made her report to medical every day for 2 weeks to do a hygiene check. Now, I don't know how the hell you do a hygiene check on somebody. We was taking bets on how the hell they were doing. I don't know if they made a gap of legs in front of a box fan. We just didn't know. I personally thought they took them little sample papers that you had with perfume, patted on the cooch, and then fanned in front of their nose. I thought maybe that's how they checked. We never knew. We were just glad somebody was doing something because it had got to the point to where the flies was playing rock, paper, scissors to see who would land on this motherfucker.